Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Will.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons & Dragons, from bold beauties to bodacious bears. And today we're revisiting the Bard.
The Dungeoncast. Hey Brian.
Hey Will.
What's going on, man?
I'm ready to learn about bards. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
We're recording a podcast.
We are.
You know what's going on.
That's true. I do know what's going on here. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Bard today.
Hell yeah.
For the second time.
Again.
We're revisiting.
With feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And this time we're gonna go through the three subclasses that were presented in Xanathar's Guide. The College of Glamour, the College of Swords, and the College of Whispers. And we did talk about all three of these a little bit.
In Xanathar's Guide.
In the Xanathar's Guide.
And I covered them very
true.
loosely because I didn't take very detailed notes.
But I did.
You
Today.
did.
Not
today.
that time. But
for
today.
this.
Yes.
For now.
Indeed. So yeah, we're gonna run through them, and then at the end of the episode, we're gonna build one of these.
Yeah, that's right. Today I'm in charge of building a character. So
Indeed. I've given you the responsibility.
Indeed, and I have
willed it responsibly.
Yeah, it's a lot of power.
A lot of power. Yeah, indeed. All right, so let's start with the College of Glamour.
Let's.
I really like these. This one, I really liked all three of these, but
College of Glamour. When you get there, they give you a sequin vest.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, so the College of Glamour is it's really, really steeped in what is Fey. It's just an extremely Fey subclass. It's basically the College of becoming an Archfey.
That's cool.
Which I think is really cool. Because I like Fey stuff, and more of it's better.
A lot of people like Fey stuff.
Yeah.
I found out doing the show.
So this college, So this college is all about enchantment and enthrallment. It's honestly, it's a very obviously it's a very glamorous subclass, but
No way.
It is actually a little bit disturbing.
Yeah,
because it's really about bending
it's almost
lesser
like
people to your will.
Yeah, it's like super magical short-term brainwashing.
Indeed.
Sometimes long-term brainwashing.
Indeed. And which I think that's very appropriate because the Fae are simultaneously beautiful and whimsical and scary as fuck.
Yeah.
So.
Don't tell them your name.
Yeah, don't tell them your name ever. So let's get into it. I find that this class is good for multiclassing if you're a Phaelok.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's just good flavor. It mixes really well. And also the Phaelok also specializes in enthrallment to a much lesser extent. I mean, it focuses just as much. It's just not quite as good at it as the Glamour Bard. The Glamour Bard is exceptionally good at charming people.
Okay.
I also like this subclass for if you're trying to make a Archfey villain for your campaign. There's not a lot of, we've talked about this, there's not a lot of options in the monster manual or even in Volo's Guide for like powerful Fey monsters or almost any Fey monsters, and there's not a lot of them. And Archfey are exceptionally powerful. One thing you could do is build like a level 18 College of Glamour Bard, or at the very least take some of these same things that the College of Glamour Bard can do and just kind of attach them to the monster that you're building. I think it's very flavorful. It works. Those are two things that I would suggest this class for.
Are people homebrewing their big Fey creatures?
Like, they have to.
Yeah.
You're either reskinning or completely homebrewing them.
Because in Tome of Beasts, there's a stat block for them.
Yeah.
They've
Tome
got like
of Beasts,
5 or 6.
Tome of Beasts is it's a different beast. There are amazing Archfey options
and there's
there.
a ton of Fey monsters.
Yeah, a ton of Fey monsters.
Basically everything the monster manual is missing, I feel like that book tries to fill it in.
Yeah, it's a third-party book, but I love that book. And I've taken a look at some of the Archfey that they have in there, and it's super, super cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's get back to the Bard. So let's get into some of the abilities that the College of Glamour gets. The first one you get at level 3 is called Mantle of Inspiration. And it's all the different Bard subclasses get this kind of alternate use for their Bardic Inspiration die.
Okay.
Which I'm sure you remember. It's a die that they can expend to give an ally a bonus to a roll.
Typically a D6, right?
It starts as a D6. It does...
it increases at like what? 6th, 8th level? 4th level?
It goes up over the levels. I think by the end it's like a D10. I'm not positive on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. So with the Mantle of Inspiration, you get an alternative use for your Bardic Inspiration die.
That's cool.
You basically can play a song of Fey magic that will imbue your allies with vigor and speed.
Nice.
So, excuse me. You choose a number of targets equal to your charisma mod, and those targets get 5 temporary HP, and also they get they get the ability to spend a bonus action to move their speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
That's good. That's always very good.
Really, really good, especially if you were in a really bad situation, like let's say an ambush.
Yeah.
You can just play your mantle of inspiration. Everyone can get the fuck out.
Yeah, get to the outsides or surround somebody.
It's really cool. It also, it super reminds me of old 4th edition, the Warlord.
Ooh, that tactical kind of like point and click.
Exactly. And the thing is, the Warlord from 4th edition had a thing. I don't remember the name of the feature, but they all had a different thing that procced immediately at the beginning of initiative. And some of it was it would like boost your AC or boost your initiative.
Yeah.
Some of it would just give you a bonus to initiative. But one of them was everybody in your party got to shift a number of squares equal to your charisma mod or something like that.
Nice.
It might have been wisdom mod, but like that's basically what this is with a little bit of flavor on top.
Right.
And I just think it's really cool. And I think the way you would kind of explain this in physics of the game is, it's fake, so it's like wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you got like movement shiny. You know, like an after image kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the glitter
that.
coming off of you or whatever.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and not everybody, they like are swiping for your after image maybe, or like
something like
trying
that.
to hit you. You're not really there. They think you're closer than you are or something.
Exactly, something like that. And you know, since it doesn't provoke opportunity attack, you can get really creative with it. I mean, you could be like, you teleport, you know, like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it's up to you.
You move through. Ethereal
honestly,
plane.
if you make it ethereal plane or teleportation, there are other things about that kind of make it overpowered.
Oh, the implications of like being in the ethereal plane.
Yeah, well, it's like, you move through walls now.
Yeah,
and that's not fair and that's not balanced. But my point is, you can flavor it up because it lacks the opportunity attack bit. So you get another feature at level 3. It's called enthralling performance, and this is like the cool thing about this cool
class.
thing at the beginning of taking this subclass. You can charge your musical performance or any of your performances. You know, it doesn't have to be music with what I like to call sexy Fey mojo.
Your freeform haiku poetry.
Indeed, you can choose a number of people equal to your charisma mod within 60 feet of you, and they have to witness the entire performance. But if they do so, they then have to make a charisma save versus being charmed. And it's a very special charm. It's like not like the normal charmed condition. Although I think it's the charm condition plus these extra things.
It's bonus charm.
It's bonus charm. It's charm plus.
It's like when you go to buy toilet paper and they're like, we put in an extra 200 feet in here.
Yeah, sure, right. It's exactly like that. So if they fail this, they are charmed in such a way where they idolize you and will speak glowingly of you and even hinder your foes for the next hour.
Ooh.
And
they just becomes fucking super fans.
They're just super on your jam, yeah.
Yeah, they're like outside your tour bus when you roll up and you didn't tell anybody you were going to that place.
They temporarily become your groupies.
Yeah.
And here's the best or simultaneously the most disturbing part is after it's all said and done, they don't even realize they were charmed. Now, this is important because
very different from normal charming.
Yeah, normal charming, they almost always realize it and then they're miffed about it or whatever.
You're like, oh man,
but this is
got
like
the better of me.
Yeah, exactly. But in this case, it's like you controlled them and now they'll never know.
Yeah, you're just like that was so dope. You remember that time Homeboy came here and sang?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's it for level 3. The next feature that you get will be at level 6. It's called Mantle of Majesty. With this feature, you get the ability to cloak yourself in Fey magic and cast command at will as a bonus action for a minute without using slots, by the way.
I think that's what I geeked out about last time.
Yeah, it's just like you just command, like kneel, cheer, laugh. You know, you just brain control everybody.
Yep.
Now, I think there's nothing special about this one. I think they will realize that, you know, that they were magically forced to
I have
do
a
so.
memory of doing something that's very out of character for me.
Yeah. Also, it's at this point that you just kind of become otherworldly, kind of beautiful.
Right.
I think
that's like the thrall.
Yeah, you only have this beauty when you're using this Mantle of Majesty and cloaking yourself in the Fey magic. Now, I pictured this. You've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
I have.
Of course you have. The scene where with Frodo and Galadriel, and like Frodo offers her the ring and like she freaks out and she goes into like They would worship me as a queen.
Don't
blah,
give me
blah,
that
blah.
shit.
Yeah,
I don't really want it. I kind of want it. Don't give me that shit.
All would love me and despair.
Yeah.
Like the way she looks and like the way she like is exuding her presence, like that's what this would look like to me.
That was,
it's like you are simultaneously scary as fuck and commanding whatever you want, and also like beautiful.
That was a powerful scene. They gave her like the double like semitone range.
Oh
and
yeah, they did some cool audio
they like
work
do
there.
the background like gets dark and
Yeah,
like, she got, like that
exactly.
shimmer over her, but it's like all gray
And that's to me what this mantle of majesty would look
kind
like.
of evil almost.
Yeah, almost very, very sinister. Yeah,
Sinister.
So yeah, that's what you get at level 6. Again, it's very, very, very much about bending people to your will.
Right. And it's cool. I like the Glamour Bard a lot. The Player's Handbook says like bards are the like pop stars of the D&D world.
They very much are.
And this is like the embodiment of that to the maximum of like a like an idol, like the way there's like Japanese idols.
You definitely have a real edge over the other bards on the pop charts with
Yes.
your this subclass.
Yeah, you're on Billboard. They're promoting you.
It's like everyone else is. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but like with this one, you're Elvis Presley.
Okay.
With the other bards, you're pretty much anyone who isn't Elvis Presley during the time of Elvis Presley.
Yeah, Ariana Grande is a Glamour Bard.
There we go.
Sure.
I guess I don't know her. So, level 14 though, you get
Bruno Mars.
I know the name.
Adele and Beyonce.
Okay, I know who they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
Glamour
adds
bards.
up. I agree with that. Okay, level 14. And your big one. You get your big one at level 14. It's called Unbreakable Majesty. I really like the title of this one.
Yeah.
So with this one, you just permanently become lovely and fierce.
You're like a wild horse.
You're like
Unbreakable.
a wild horse. No, you go full Galadriel and you never go back.
Oh,
basically,
sick.
is what happens. You just walk around like that. Also, once and this is, I find this ability to be simultaneously awesome, and as a dungeon master, this would just be so freaking annoying to have to deal with. Once a short rest, you can assume a magical presence where the first attack on you each turn, the attacker must make a charisma save in order to even attack you.
Oh my god.
So it's just like,
So you're burning turns off of NPC bad
yeah,
guys.
you really are. Well, maybe I have to reread the feature because it might be that now they're going to choose to attack someone else if they can.
Okay.
But like you could be away from the rest of your people and they might not be able to attack anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and isn't it a thing where if they like come up to attack you and fail and they have to move away, is that an opportunity attack? I guess we would have to reread the feature, huh?
Yeah, I'd have to reread the feature. But the point of this feature is that, number one, like you said, it definitely has the potential to burn entire turns of monsters.
That's super powerful.
Yeah,
That's what you do to your players.
Yeah, it also is extremely defensive. Like it's better than advantage, if you ask me. Because that was just rolling in order to attack you. Now they have to roll to actually hit you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think
there's another check wall in front of the actual like attacking check wall.
And it's really cool. But as a dungeon master, I would just be like, damn you.
Fuck, I have to roll 2 d20s every time I want to even like touch this guy.
Yeah,
there's
one guy.
There's got to be other guys.
And the thing is, bards can wreak havoc, man. Like
Yes.
they cause, like, just being pure support, not talking about damage output. They cause problems.
Yes.
For dungeon masters.
And like this thing is for sure is causing.
Yeah.
This thing's at level 14. You're wreaking havoc on
True.
and off the battlefield.
True. That's true. Well, another thing that makes this potent for the level you get it at is at the higher levels you start dealing with monsters who are capable of just saving because they fucking want to.
Right.
But with this isn't a save.
It's a check.
They have to make a check and then they have to attack you. So for me it's better than them having to make a charisma save.
Right. So. And even if there's
actually it is a charisma save. It's not a check. So,
okay. Well, I mean, so something's still gonna have to burn.
Yeah. It would have to, if it wanted to use its ability to just succeed at the save, like honestly it burn it on that than burning it on someone casting a level 7 spell.
Exactly. Like this is just
another thing for them to deal with.
Thing. Exactly. Yeah. And like it's a legendary reaction, right, that a dragon can use to like save itself.
It might be. I think it might be.
It's probably hard against dragons because they've got high charisma anyway.
Yeah. I'm remembering Tiamat specifically, and she just had a 5 a day thing, or 5 times a day. As a free action, she could just say, "Nope, I save."
Yeah, I think ancient dragons have a legendary reaction where they can choose to save as well.
Yeah,
that's so strong.
Yeah, very strong. Okay, so that's the College of Glamour. That's the basics about it. I really like it.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I think it doesn't necessarily have to. What? It doesn't necessarily have to be tied to the Fae. I like that it's steeped in Fae, but also like you could just reflavor it to be whatever. You know?
Yeah, and this is like the Fae, they're going. You want to go half elf or you want to go full elf?
Yeah, I like the Fae option because there needs to be those options, but also because there's Dungeons and Dragons, feel free to reflavor it. It could be something else. It could be like it could be fiendish, like because fiends like succubi and whatnot, they're enthralling and beautiful and fierce and all that stuff.
Glamorous.
You can make it. You can reflavor it to be more fiendish than Fae.
Yeah, so. Tiefling.
Tiefling. Yeah, you can go full fiendy. All right. Anything you want to add to Glamour Bard before we move on?
I'm ready to move on.
All right. So let's move on to the College of Swords.
Let's do it.
You said in the Xanathar's Guide episode that you did not like.
Well, it's not. It's just not my favorite.
That's understandable.
There's I think the way the magic comes out is cool, but it just bit on the like the fighter kind of vibe. Which I'm like, dude, the fighter is already like just so alone, in the world.
Yeah. It definitely has
leave
some
the fighter
fighter
alone.
in it. It's a way to get some fighter in your bard, without a doubt.
You made the good point of explaining to me like exactly how powerful this class can be because you are a full caster.
You are a full caster,
and I failed to like kind of piece all that. Oh yeah, you still got all that cool bard shit.
Yeah, you have all the cool bard shit. So the College of Swords for me is I like it a lot. When I initially was reading it, there was a part of me that didn't care for it because it was up until now, my favorite college had been the College of Valor, which is a distinctly less powerful college, especially when you now add all these to it. And the College of Swords is just distinctly better.
Will, you're a texture and flavor man.
I am.
You like the way things feel in the mouth.
Yeah, and the College of Swords basically is the College of Valor, but better. And so there's a part of me that was like, oh, but I like the College of Valor. But then the other part of me is, well, now I have a better one. So yay,
Will's
me.
new favorite.
Yeah, it's I think it might be my new favorite bard college.
I think out of the 3 in Xanathar's, it's my least favorite, but probably out of all of them, it's still up there.
Yeah, I mean they're all good except for Valor, which I still like. So I like to call this the Path of the Diet Fighter, but basically this bard, the concept of this bard is that they treat combat and specifically sword play as a form of art or form of entertainment. So this could be like a dancer, if you will, or maybe a gladiator, but that is super about the performance part. Like it's almost like a pro wrestler. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's more like the gladiator, but like embracing the entertainment of it all. Exactly. Yeah, that's cool.
It's like pro wrestling. Like you can say what you want about pro wrestling, like not being real or whatever. And I'm not a pro wrestling fan when it comes to like WWE or any of that stuff. I don't know anything about it, but what I do know is that is not easy stuff to do, and that is a performance.
Yes.
And it may not be technically a sport, but it's not something that's easy to do, and it's something that those men are very passionate about.
And I would even like argue that it is a sport in its own right. Like as far as like you got to sculpt your body,
it's definitely
you got to come up with a persona. And you
absolutely.
have to do like acrobatics on.
And
a
that's
stage.
my point. It's a physically demanding job that you have to be strong and fit for.
It's staged and scripted for sure.
Yeah,
but like
absolutely.
that's what it is. This is what this is about.
And with the College of Swords, like your art form also just happens to make you really good at combat.
Is John Cena gonna make it?
Yeah.
Is he gonna be? Is he gonna get another championship?
I don't know.
I don't know exactly how it works, but I know John Cena is decorated.
So basically, you're gonna get all your bardic inspiration stuff. You're gonna get all your spell slots.
John Cena is a glamour bard.
No, John Cena is a College of Swords bard.
No, he's a glamour bard.
He's a glamour bard.
You can't see him.
What?
It's an illusion.
Okay, I don't understand. Are you referencing something?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right.
He's probably a sword bard. It's fine.
All right, let's get back to this. So not only do you get all these the awesome like spellcastery stuff that a bard gets, but you actually become pretty dang good at physical combat, which is saying something because most of the other what you would call gishes of this game aren't very good at balancing the two. Usually you're just way better at one than the other.
Did you say gishes?
Yeah, gish.
Oh,
yeah, we'll talk about gishes one day.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually
that's a different podcast we do.
Yeah, it's a different
we talk about words Brian's never heard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a subsection of this podcast. It's just we're gonna leave that little subsection for another day because I want to talk about this guy.
Okay.
So the way they express the combat capabilities of the College of Swords Bard is very reminiscent to the Battlemaster Fighter, which I think is why you probably feel like it took
it
a
definitely
bite out of the
chomped my feels.
yeah, which that was the first character you ever rolled was a Battlemaster Fighter. But let's get into it.
No, Rohan's the best.
Yeah. So at level 3, which is when you can take this subclass, you immediately get extra proficiencies, which you're gonna need, and the College of Valor kind of gets this too. Your extra proficiencies are this: scimitars and medium armor.
Nice.
Also, you can use your blade as a spell focus. Now, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
cool,
that's sick.
Because it makes spell casting much easier while you're in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Next, you're going to get a fighting style, but you only get to choose between 2, which I think is fitting. Either dueling or 2-weapon, which is also fitting. So you're either going to be a dual-wielding bard or a bard that has a sword in one hand and a shield in the other, or nothing in the other. And then, this is the big one. You get the blade flourish feature. Now, basically, you are, because of your bardic college and your art form and your entertainment, you are capable of doing impressive feats of martial prowess with your weapons and whatnot. And you're also probably quick on your feet and whatnot.
Yeah, you can probably do handstands and cartwheels.
Yeah, and flips and all that stuff. You could probably throw a sword and it'll stab somebody.
You could probably do a barrel roll.
Yeah, that too. So,
do a barrel roll.
the immediate thing you get with this is when you take an attack action, you gain a speed of +10 for the turn. That's every turn. That's really, so you're super mobile. That's fantastic. And then furthermore, when you attack, you can perform one of 3 flourishes of your choice. This is the alternative use for your bardic inspiration die. So the 3 flourishes are defensive flourish, slashing flourish, and mobile flourish. Let's go through them. So with the defensive flourish, you spend your bardic inspiration die. You add the number that you roll on the die to your AC for a turn. So just you go in, you attack, and you boost your AC.
Yes.
You flavor that how you want. You're just dancing around with a sword, just so good that it's hard to hit you.
You're spinning them so fast. It's like part of your armor now.
It confuses your enemy.
Shit.
Slashing flourish, you just basically add the extra damage from your bardic inspiration die, and you can, I think, add that damage to another target within 10 feet. I think that's how that works.
I remember something like that.
It's something like that. Basically, it's extra damage, and you can also kind of spread it a little bit, which is nice. You basically like slash and also hit that guy.
Also hit that guy.
Yeah, so there's that. And then there's mobile flourish, where you get to push a target 5 feet, and then you can then move into the space that they were.
Yeah, these are just Battlemaster maneuvers.
Yeah, it's a Battlemaster maneuver, and I like that. I like that little controllingness of it all. Thing is, that's where it stops. So you'll never be as good as a Battlemaster, which you shouldn't be
because they're a Battlemaster.
Exactly. And but the thing is, you can literally go into a fight and not spend any spell slots and like be competent.
Yeah,
like, which is saying something. Like, you not only do you get like the proficiencies to actually hit with a sword, but like you could do stuff with that sword. It's not just like, it's not like a hex blade where, well, not a hex blade, but like a blade lock where it's like, oh, you can also just hit with a sword. The end.
This is extra stuff on top of that. Plus, if you really need to like step out of the fray, you can just start casting fucking spells.
Exactly. After this, at level 6, you get the extra attack feature, which is great. Honestly, the only class that gets more than 1 extra attack is the fighter. So like you're already getting as much extra attacks as a paladin or a ranger get. So
pretty good. I like to picture like
said about that.
Like a fencer. Mm-hmm. That's like super like visually stimulating for a lot of people, especially during the Olympics. I know a lot of people start to watch fencing.
Oh, okay.
And it's very pretty. Or like somebody who throws daggers or a sword swallower. Those are the kinds of like, these are the kinds of people that I picture learning like sword bardry.
Yeah.
Bardadacious.
Another thing about this class, and that like you can choose to implement or not, is like in real life though, all these flourishes and all the Hollywood glamour to this fighting style actually would be very, very not good in actual combat. Like it'd leave openings and whatnot. But because of the magic of barding, like this fighting style that would probably not be very effective is.
Right.
You could flavor it like that. I kind of like that.
That's like trying to do choreographed fight moves from like the Matrix in a boxing match. You're going to get fucked up.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Or it's like taking what sword fighting is on TV.
Yeah. And pitting up against like a real fencer or something like that.
You'll just get stabbed.
Yes, you're going to get stabbed a bunch too.
Unless,
like not even one time, like a bunch of times.
You're a College of Swords bard.
Oh.
So at level 14, we got the big one again. You get what's called Master's Flourish. You can forego using your bardic inspiration for flourishes. So basically, you can either not use.
So you're using bardic inspiration slots, right?
You're using your dice for your flourishes,
right?
So, those are limited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at level 14, you can just choose to not use those, and if you do, you just get a D6.
Cool.
Which is lower than at level 14. You probably have a D8 or a D10. So it's a little bit lower, but it's free, and you can do it as many times as you want.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing is, once you do burn through all your bardic inspiration dice, it doesn't mean you have to stop doing your flourishes. You can just keep doing flourishes now. You don't have to worry about a finite resource for flourishes.
You just don't add the bardic inspiration die to it anymore because you're out.
You just transfer over to this free D6 that you get now.
Cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
It's solid. It's straightforward. It's to the point. It's not like Unbreakable Majesty for the College of Glamour, but I think it's a really good feature.
In that way, you're a little better than a battle master because the battle master's finite.
Yeah, the battle master is finite, but I think the battle master gets a feature where they get a certain recharge with short rests.
That I think it's one or two.
Yeah, and I'd have to go back and read the bardic inspiration feature itself.
Short
I'm not
rest,
sure what is it. Short rest?
Yeah, short or long.
So yeah, you're right. In a way, this is
I think
kind of like resource wise, this is definitely better than the battle master.
Right,
Yeah.
but as far as potency and power, I think the battle master is still better. And
Absolutely.
like you do get a lot of maneuvers, like especially in the later levels, you keep on getting more, and the die goes up to I think all the way up to a D12.
I think it goes up to a D12, and like you said, there's more maneuvers, there's more types of things you can do.
Yeah, knocking people prone is dope.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that the battle master fighter needs more maneuvers. I don't know what type of book we would need to get to add on to it, but like spellcasters have been getting more spells, and even the warlock got more. What are they called? Oh my gosh, there's a word for them. It's like passive abilities that they get. Eldritch invocations.
Oh yeah.
The warlock got more invocations. I think the battle master needs like a cool 8 more options for their maneuvers. I just think like especially with this College of Swords bard, which kind of it does step on the flavor. I'm not going to deny that. I like it, but it definitely makes the fighter battle master a little bit less attractive because it's also a full caster. So I think the battle master needs some more options.
Yeah, I
personally
think putting status effects on people is really cool. I think all the sword fighting that you do when you're a battle master or a bard would make you really fucking tired. What do you think?
I think so. Let's take a short rest.
Hey everybody, welcome to the part of the show where we're going to stop talking about bards. We're going to talk about a new contest. Tell them, Will.
Yes, we are giving away 2 basic starter sets.
That's right, everybody. 2 basic starter sets.
And we'll be giving them away on March 1st. Now, I was thinking that the last couple contests that we ran, we gave away content that was like really for like people who have been playing the game, like Tales of the Yawning Portal. Like that was for like you're already a dungeon master and you want that book. Xanathar's Guide. It's like you're already been playing the game and now you want the extra options. And so we decided like, why don't we give away something to somebody who's looking to get into the game but doesn't know where to begin, or maybe doesn't want to sink the money into getting the core books. Well, the basic starter set is a good place to start. So
that's called a starter set. And this show is just as much for new listeners as it is for people who've been playing the game for a long time. I actually like to think we cater to new people to help like kind of get you started on things you need to know without having to muddle through the books. So because this information, it's kind of spread out. You know, you don't really get all of it in one place. And even within one book, it's kind of spread out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we think a starter kit is a great way to help people out if you're getting into D&D. Obviously, if you're playing, you have everything you need to play, or I hope you do. If you don't, this is a great contest for you anyway. But hey, free stuff. Check it out.
Yeah, and the way you enter is there's 2 ways to enter, and you can enter twice.
2 ways to enter.
The first way is if you get on Twitter and tweet a link to our show, whether it's YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever.
Just as long as it's the link to our show.
Yeah, to your followers with the hashtag Dungeoncast.
Hashtag Dungeoncast.
You will be entered on the list to win. And also, if you leave us an iTunes review within the window of February 1st to March 1st, you'll also be entered to win.
That's right. So 2 possible ways to enter and up to 2 entries per person. We're giving away 2 starter packs. D&D starter packs. What comes in that?
Sets.
Starter sets. It's a DM screen, and I know there's like a version of the player's handbook in there.
There's a mini adventure called The Lost Minds of Fendelver. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's right. That's what the Adventure Zone based their first campaign arc off of.
Yes, and also I think there are some pre-made characters that go up to level 5.
Magnus, Merle, and Taco.
No, not those 3.
Wizard, fighter, and cleric.
Yeah, I think there's 4 or 5 characters.
They use the starter sheets from that
Oh,
set.
they do, but then they change it.
Well, yeah.
But obviously. Yeah, they do. They do take 2 of the characters and use those. Yeah, so it's just like it's everything you need to start an adventure and see if you like the game.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If you want to find us on soundcloud.com/thedungeoncast, you can by typing those things I just said into your web browser. You can also find us on YouTube if you search The Dungeoncast. You can email us at thedungeoncast@gmail.com, or like Will said, you can find us on Twitter at The Dungeoncast to enter our new contest for 2 starter sets from February 1st to March 1st.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's like a month.
Also, I was feeling like our other contests were lasting too long. I'm like, let's just do a month this time.
Cool. Yeah. Where else can they find us? Fuck.
I think that's everywhere. You said YouTube and SoundCloud. And
Ooh, Patreon people. We have some Patreon people.
Oh, we got Patreon people.
We need to figure out who those are. Break. Yeah, we're back. Okay. I found out who the Patreon people are, and I wanted to be sure of the names. But thank you very much to Chelsea Novak, Nathan K. Sims, and Ven0M0. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Venom Zero. I think they just use the O as a 0, which is clever. Thank you. Sorry, I butchered your name, Venom Zero or Venom 0M0.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Nathan. And thank you, Venom Zero.
It's probably just Venom Zero. You're right.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
It really helps us out. And I hope you're enjoying the Patreon content.
Yeah, I hope you guys are too. Speaking of that, I'm working on editing the Vault Raiders right now, and I can't fucking stop laughing.
Yeah,
it was so
really
good.
funny.
I'm super duper proud of it. It's gonna be all I really got left to do is the music, so hopefully by next episode or the one after this, it'll be done. And anybody in the $5 tier can get access to the second installment of the Vault Raiders. We are going to be releasing a snippet of that onto YouTube and Patreon.
Yes, if you enjoyed the first Vault Raiders episode, you will really, really enjoy the second one.
Yeah, this is a direct continuation of the first game's storyline. They are one shots. They're about 4 hours. I split them up into 1 hour episodes. So there's going to be 8 episodes of Vault Raiders content in the $5 tier that we have on Patreon. If you want access to the seasonal games, it's just another thing you get at the $10 tier. You get a bunch of other stuff. Go to the patreon.com/dungeoncast. You'll find it there. And I think unless you got anything else to add, we're going to call it a short rest.
Yeah, let's get back to the show.
Let's get back to not resting. Back to the show.
All right, you ready?
We're back.
We're back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Star wipe.
I said Time Warp. You said Star Wipe. Okay. We got one last subclass to talk about, Brian. And I think you said it was your favorite of the
This
three?
is my favorite of the 3.
Okay.
And okay, so it's gonna sound weird because it's also, I think this also chomps on the flavor of another class, like super hard.
Mm-hmm.
But
you never played that class.
No, but I also like the idea of multi-classing them together. So like,
yeah, I do too.
it's just like a different version of the same thing, like a different approach.
So
Where like the sword bard felt like a step on.
You're trying to say that the College of Whispers is very reminiscent of the Assassin Rogue.
The assassin rogue, particularly the assassin. It's very roguish in general, but
Yeah.
particularly the assassin.
I definitely see some similarities. I think it is
Get your hand
different.
away
I
from
think
that.
it's different enough to It's very different at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's definitely similar flavor.
You're singing and shit, and you're like out in the open.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to sing.
Yeah.
You can do whatever.
Actually, I don't picture these guys singing very, very well. Sometimes
I picture
Let's
them
get into
like being like issuing rhetoric, like a speech.
Sure, yeah. So the premise of the College of Whispers is that you are part of a college that is
They talk like this.
essentially a shadow organization that uses the good reputation of bards in the greater world to gain access to the upper echelons of society and the secret places of the world.
Right.
It's a bardic college that has an agenda. And what that agenda is can vary on the player and the dungeon master.
Yeah, that could be like a world building choice.
Yeah, it's a world building choice. Maybe you guys are a vigilante justice kind of society that tries to rout corruption in the upper echelons of society, or maybe you just are like Ocean's 11 and you just do high level heists, big heists. Dope. You could be an assassin's guild. That's the obvious choice.
And a bunch of you are Kenkus.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like world domination. You guys are essentially the Illuminati. It could be all kinds of different things.
Can you imagine a bunch of fucking bird people just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Except for the Kenku would never be able to formulate the ideas it would take to run this shadow organization.
No, they'd be the lackeys.
Oh yeah, they'd definitely be the lackeys.
They'd be like
I
the
see that.
footmen. Like, here, I taught this one how to lockpick. Take him with you.
Right.
Just make sure you tell him exactly what you want him to do all the time, forever.
So this subclass focuses on a few things: psychic damage for some reason, the fear condition, and also identity theft and subterfuge.
And I like the implementation of more psychic type things in the game because they have it and it just floats out with the what are the illithids or whatever?
Yeah, the illithids do a lot of psychic damage. I mean, there's a lot of psionic wielding monsters. There's not a lot of psionic stuff on the player end of stuff. Yeah. I imagine eventually there will be. There definitely will be when they start making a Dark Sun setting book.
Oh,
that's going to have a lot of psionic stuff. I think Eberron might have some psionic stuff too. I'm not entirely sure.
Isn't there an Unearthed Arcana that is just a psionic something?
Yes,
psychic base.
Yeah, the class, the Mystic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which eventually we'll get that too, probably with the Dark Sun setting.
Oh,
but we'll see. All right,
gotta find a way to sell me that book.
Yeah, let's get back to the Bard though.
Okay.
So at level 3, you get a feature called Psychic Blades. Basically, this is kind of similar to Sneak Attack. It's just extra damage when you attack. You spend your Bardic Inspiration die on it. That's your alternative thing.
Yeah.
Basically,
you get 2d6, right?
Yeah, when you hit an enemy with a physical attack, you can spend a Bardic Inspiration die, and you get 2d6 of psychic damage. Now this goes up as you level up, much like Sneak Attack damage would.
Right.
So, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, basically sneak attack, but not. You don't have to sneak. It doesn't have the conditions that sneak attack has to do it.
No. Instead, it's a finite resource.
Right.
Yeah. Which I like this because it, like you said that you think that Assassin and this college would go good together, and I agree with you. But I think the point of Psychic Blades is to kind of discourage you from multiclassing, and you kind of don't need to.
because I'm going to build a Whispers Bard at the end of this, and I was like, do I want a multi-class Assassin? Mm-hmm. But you have to go pretty deep in the Assassin subclass to get the really good stuff.
Yeah. And
it just wouldn't go great with I guess you could go low in Bard, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to build a Bard primarily.
Well, I think what I like in general about these subclasses and about 5e in general is they try and make multiclassing to be plan C. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you really need to, you can, but we're going to try and make it so you don't need to. So rather than try and fuse a fighter with a bard, we're just going to make you a bard that can fight.
Right.
Rather than try and fuse an assassin and a bard, we're just going to make you an assassin bard.
Right.
And here we are. So you also get
I'm more. Give me more.
Indeed. You also get another feature at level 3 called Words of Terror.
That's super cool.
You could spend a minute in casual conversation with a humanoid. And as you do this, if they understand your language, that you can seed paranoia in their mind.
Yeah, you tell them all your dark fetishes.
Well, the thing is, you could talk about... No, you could talk... Well, I mean, you could. You could talk about whatever you want. What you talk about doesn't matter. You're magically manipulating their mind secretly as you're talking to them.
Right.
They need to make a wisdom save, and if they fail, they become frightened of a creature of your choice for an hour.
Yeah.
Now this is really cool because
like you told him a fucking story about your boy and like how fucking fucked up he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it could be.
You told him all
that,
of your
or,
boy's dark fetishes.
Like, well, maybe you're trying to get a guy to divulge some information to you about their boss or about someone above them,
right?
That you can't quite get to, but this person has an in. Like, you can kind of work the conversation and make it seem like that person's actually a danger to you. I'm here to help you. So why don't you tell me everything I need to know to do damage to them?
Yeah, unless you want to take the damage, and it'll be 2d6 of psychic, bitch.
Indeed.
Plus this rapier strike.
Very manipulative. I really like this. I could see a lot of uses for words of terror. Yeah, it's just good shit.
Playing a bard is such like you've got a lot to live up to. Like,
true.
For like role play wise,
yeah,
you got to be
true.
quick thinker.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, that's definitely the norm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be. You can just do the thing and like roll dice to compensate. I feel like the way I like to run the table is if the bard is really good and likes to do more on their roleplay end, the less dice they have to roll, or the lower the DCs are.
Right.
Like if you hit me with something low, I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be fucked up by that.
That's
the DC just drops real low.
Yeah,
and like
no, I agree with that to a certain extent. Definitely.
Your charisma's probably so fucking high.
Yeah, it probably
God,
is.
it's probably a +3 or 4. That's what I was thinking in the glamour bard. I'm like, God, you're gonna fucking select 3 or 4 people to fucking do whatever.
And be exactly. So at level 6, you get a feature called Mantle of Whispers. Now this was the feature that made me go, oh shit. Mm-hmm. So I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but in Game of Thrones there is a I'm not going to get too into spoilers or anything, but there is a group of people called the Faceless Men, in which they steal the faces of people and then can like infiltrate anywhere.
Like Mission Impossible.
I don't know, because I've never seen Mission Impossible, Brian.
Fuck, Will.
We've talked about that on this podcast multiple times. But
true.
But yeah, you much like I guess Black Widow from Marvel Comics.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
She has like that screen thing that meshed.
In Mission Impossible, it's like a fucking rubber piece, and they fucking pull it off. And
Okay,
like,
so it's
I'm actually Tom Cruise.
Stupid.
No, it's good. It's like it's so good.
So it's like Austin Powers.
Yeah, well, they're making fun of.
I know,
spy
because
movies.
it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a spoof. So yeah, it's not stupid. It's fucking awesome.
Okay,
they've got
right.
a little like chip they put on their throat that looks like the Mockingbird gum.
I don't know what that is.
Where you can just like emulate someone else's voice perfectly with like.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they wear it with like the mask is super good. Like they do it. He takes it off like in the scene. I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh wow.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
Very good. I'm like, Tom Cruise, motherfucker. Every time I'm like, shit, he's Tom Cruise. One time they take one off and it's Tom Cruise, and then he takes it off again. It's not Tom Cruise. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I've been whispered.
Well, in Game of Thrones, the Faceless Men are like the most expensive assassins on the planet. And
for hire.
For hire, yeah. And in the game of Dungeons and Dragons, Mantle of Whispers gives
Not
you an
of
ability.
Thrones.
Yeah, not of Thrones. The Mantle of Whispers gives you an ability that's somewhat similar. You steal someone's face, basically, but not in the same way, because they literally physically steal
You do it
the
in like a
face.
horror movie kind of way? Where
No,
there's a lot
basically,
of blood?
when a human dies within 30 feet of you, you have the choice. You have the choice to capture its shadow for a day. If you do this, you can use the shadow to disguise yourself as that person for 1 hour. Furthermore,
so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Furthermore, you magically gain access to all general information and surface memories of the individual.
Yes.
Now, that's very good and
It's
very powerful. Yeah.
So this is part of the reason I want to build the Whispers Bard is this feels like Majora's Mask. When you get the essence of like the Deku Scrub or the Goron, you put on the mask and you like become, you don't just become a Goron. You become, I think his name is Darunian or something. You become like
a person,
a folk hero of their tribe.
Yeah.
And they recognize you as him, and you can kind of they're just like, hey, do you remember that thing you told me you were going to do? It's time to do it. And you go do it, and they're none the wiser.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, oh fuck. Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, that game is based off of like death and denial of death and stuff like that. So they just like accept it.
Stages of grief.
Yeah, people think you're a ghost. Yeah, the stages of grief. People think you're a fucking ghost sometimes. Like I'm pretty sure I fucking buried you, but here you are. So like magic, yay. Thanks.
Yeah.
This feels like that.
Yeah, and I would say there is a similarity there.
Except nobody watched you die. You
So-
killed someone in secret, and you're just them now.
Yeah.
For an hour.
Well, you didn't have to kill them. your friend could have killed them.
Well, yeah, as long as they died.
They died within 30 feet of you. That was their mistake.
Oh man, that wall just collapsed. It was weird. I'm gonna be them though.
Yeah.
This is super cool when you're gonna be like, it's time to bust the heist. I need to be the mayor to get into this fucking place or whatever. Time to kill the mayor.
The main limitation of this ability is the time frame.
Right, 1 hour.
Well, yeah, 1 hour once you put the face on, and only a day, within a day of when you stole the shadow in the first place.
Right.
Now, the assassin rogue has the ability to like build personas over time, and then they can just
be
do
that.
Yeah. There's no time limit on any of that.
What kind of campaign are you in where you're like getting the full use out of that, you know?
I don't know. I really like an idea of running like a one shot or like a little mini campaign series where the players are part of a shadow organization or like an assassin's guild, and everyone chooses like a very assassin-y type class. So like you'd have like a College of Whispers bard, an assassin rogue, and a necromancer wizard, and like just a real dark party. I just think it'd be really cool.
The League of Extraordinary Evil. Or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. It'd be something like that. Yeah, and I think that'd be really cool.
League of Shadows.
League of Shadows. Yeah. There it is.
Except they're not all like anti-Batman ninjas.
Yeah, you could do an evil League of Evil like in Dr. Horrible. That'd be really cool. Yeah, all led by Dark Horse. But anyways, back. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
Well, you know me.
I know. Like you've seen Mission Impossible, and I've seen Dr. Horrible.
Yeah. What world are we living in?
We live worlds apart. Okay. Level
you know what
14.
brings us together?
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right, my friend.
Right. All right. So at level 14, you get the big one. It's called Shadow Lore. It's a complex feature, so I just printed it out just so I could read it out loud.
Yeah.
At 14th level, you gain the ability to weave dark magic into your words and tap into a creature's deepest fear. As an action, you magically whisper a phrase that only one creature of your choice within 30 feet of you can hear.
Cool.
The target must make a wisdom save against your spell save DC. It automatically succeeds if it doesn't understand the language you're speaking. On a successful saving throw, the whisper sounds like an unintelligible muttering. Like, it has no effect.
Yeah.
On a failed save...
Get out of my ear, bro.
Yeah, what'd you say? On a failed save, the target is charmed by you for the next 8 hours. Now, this isn't going to be like a normal charm because this charm has to do with fear. Or until your allies attack it, damage it, or force it to make a saving throw. It interprets the whisper that you spoke to it as a description of its most mortifying secret. You gain no knowledge of the secret, but the target is convinced that you do. The charm creature obeys your commands for fear that you will reveal its secret. It won't risk its life for you or fight for you unless it is already inclined to do so. It grants you favors and gifts it would offer to a close friend. When the effect ends...
Bribes.
Yeah, bribes. When the effect ends, the creature has no understanding of why it held you in such fear.
And so that last line kind of confuses me. And it's because, like, do they still think you know the secret or no? Probably not,
no,
right?
No.
Okay.
They honestly, all they know is that you did something to them and...
But it's like a hole, right? It's like almost like they don't remember.
It'd be a hole in the memory.
It's like a fog. Maybe there's like a fog over it. Like,
yeah,
they were talking to me. And it was scary. I remember that, but I can't for the life of me remember what the fuck they even said.
Yeah,
because that's kind of how the charm starts.
Right. How you flavor
said.
the after effects is going to have to be up to you as a dungeon master. But the way I see it, the way it reads, is it kind of just ends up being like any other charm where it's like, right, they just know you did something to them and manipulated them.
Yeah, but not like it doesn't explicitly say they know that you charmed them, like how a charm person would be.
But basically they just don't understand why they were so scared of you.
Right.
And I think the natural line of logic is then, oh, they must have done some sort of magic to me.
Yeah.
Now this depends on your world and how common magic is, or they drugged you. Like, yeah, this all is circumstantial, so it's going to be up to you as a DM as to what happens when this is all said and done.
It's very interesting, but again, it's like the assassin rogue. It's like, what kind of campaign? Well, I can see this like having its uses in like a normal setting.
The thing is, whenever we talk about like these, like the assassin rogue or this subclass, I always think of a little mini campaign I was in that it would have been a full campaign, but it got cut short, where my buddy was DMing us and the entire storyline was going to take place in this great city. Mm-hmm. And basically, that's very different from most campaigns. You're going to be constantly talking with people and in an urban setting, moving around. I mean, there was
It's going to be a big like political intrigue is where
political
you're going, right?
intrigue.
Yeah.
Like we had to infiltrate like a masquerade and a bunch of other stuff
like that.
Yeah,
And you're going to be trying to manipulate the people in the positions of authority.
Exactly. And these classes, of course, would shine in those.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking about. Is like they're probably intended for these settings. Like if you're out like slaying monsters and delving in dungeons, there's not a lot of NPC interaction to let these things kind of flourish.
Yeah,
which is why it's probably a subclass.
I think a lot of campaigns spend a lot more time in cities than you would think.
Probably because ours not so far. I mean, soon,
soon.
Even in.
But if you think about it, in the old game, no, I was going to say in the old game, you spent a lot of time in the city of Baron's Gate, and then
if some of us that you're probably you make a good point because if any of us had these abilities, we probably would have used them. Yeah,
definitely.
But since we didn't, we're just a bunch of fucking schmoes like trucking about. We're gonna swing the sword, and that's gonna be that.
Exactly.
Okay.
That being said, I think we're done with the College of Whispers, unless you had anything to add, and I think it's time we built a character.
Well, then we're not done with the College of Whispers, Will, because we're gonna be all up in that thing's butt.
That's a good point. It's butt.
No.
Okay, so
damn Daniel.
We're gonna build a bard.
Yeah, dude, totally.
So
her name is Jade Hudson, and she's a halfling.
All right, I like it.
Her father died when she was very young. Or no, sorry, her mother died when she was very young, and she was raised by her father and found that she had inherent magical abilities and started going to bard school, but then got fucking picked up by evil bard school. They were like, I'm gonna poach. They're like student poachers, like in martial arts dojos and stuff. When like particularly talented students get like poached by another dojo.
Oh wow, okay, I like that. That's pretty
just
cool.
Like, hey, you're a great bard, I'm gonna teach you to be a very good bard. And she's got like issues with being raised by a single parent, and like her dad lies to her and stuff. She's like, I'm gonna get this guy. And I picture her family being people of some political importance where she's from, but not like, maybe like a noble, a lower noble class of some kind.
Maybe a merchant class.
Something like that. Yeah. Somebody important, but not like
pivotal.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I like
somebody
that.
with some weight, but nothing crazy.
A little bit of clout.
Maybe like a daughter of a nightclub owner or something like that.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. There we go.
And it's kind of seedy. Like they're not the best practitioner of like business. They're evil corporate kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
In like a very small timey way. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Like something. I want that type of vibe where it's like, my dad's not particularly a good person, and like I'm being like passed around to babysitters all the time. Like other people look after me and not my father. Yeah. And my mom died, and I feel like kind of like
not the best upbringing.
Right. It's like estranged parenting almost. So it led to some when this person came and swooped them up from the bard college and started teaching them how to be a bard of whispers, that like really wasn't. They were very impressionable. This person's a halfling, so they're looks like a few feet high, like 3 feet high, kind of dwarf size almost.
No, dwarves are a lot bigger than halflings.
Oh, are they like 4 feet then?
Yeah, no, dwarves are like 4.5 feet tall.
Okay, and they're just like thick
and huge. Yeah, buff. Yeah. Like, well, halflings are like 3 to 3.5 feet tall.
Halfling equals hobbit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a copyright thing.
Yeah. Think about Gimli versus Frodo. Right. Like Gimli was bigger than Frodo.
Yeah, don't have them box each other. Yeah, definitely. Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a halfling, I get +2 to Dex, and I think I'm going with the Lightfoot to get a +1. Or no, that's what gives me the +2 to Dex.
No, +2 to Dex is all halflings. +1 to Charisma is because you chose Lightfoot.
Lightfoot. Okay, and because I think that's going to help me with my barding. Obviously, you need charisma.
It's the obvious choice.
And then I took the charlatan background because I think eventually, as life goes on, I think I'm going to build this character as like a maybe like a 23, 24-year-old that is just like ahead of themselves as far as age. They're maybe treated with the respect of like a 40 or 50-year-old person.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So very advanced. Probably going to put some kind of stat into intelligence that's meaningful.
She seems like a smart person.
Yes, and they're gonna have to be because the bard whispers college that she got picked up from is also like a low key, like they're up and coming in the high tier crime syndicate kind of. So like an Ocean's 11 vibe is like a heist kind of thing, and these are all smart people. This is more of like a we're trying to get into positions of political influence to like make things turn in our favor in the scope of society.
Right. Okay.
So,
I like that. I like all that. That all
yeah.
sounds good. What'd you say your name was? Jade Hudson?
Jade Hudson.
Okay.
Yeah. The halfling female.
Gotcha.
So let's get to the stats.
Let's roll your ability scores, and then we'll start building the bard part of this character. So go ahead and roll. You're gonna roll 6, and I'm gonna write them down.
What is garbage right now? I think the yellow. Fuck yellow.
All right, let's roll.
Rolled in. All right, 622.
That's 10.
Okay. What's up, Constitution?
I don't know.
Strength.
More like wisdom. That's a 12.
12. What's
All
up,
right.
wisdom? Oh yeah, I guess
That
I don't
one might
really
be
need
Constitution.
wisdom. Yeah.
Never dump Constitution.
I don't really see this person. I'm building it kind of like an NPC standpoint,
I see
but
what you're saying.
that might not be relevant. Ooh, that's bad.
That's an 8.
422.
Okay, now you need 3 good ones.
Hell yeah, I do. 542.
That's 11. Now you need
average.
Now you need 2 real good ones.
That's another 11.
That's another 11. Wow, your highest right now is a 12.
Maybe she's not as good as shit as I thought.
Yeah. That
443.
is.
That's 11.
My God, dude, I've never seen someone roll so bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, dude, that's real bad.
Well, I'm gonna re-roll the 8.
Re-roll the 8, yeah.
533. It's a fucking 11. Holy shit. I'm just above average.
You said Ocean's 11 and the dice heard you.
Yeah, they were like, did you say 11?
Did
you say fuck yellow dice?
I just want to see what you could do with a character that's rolled this bad. You literally only have a +1 to 1 thing.
Well, luckily my features are fucking cool.
Well, also, okay, we get to add your racial stuff.
Right, the +2 to Dex, the +1 to Charisma.
So you could have
But the +1 to Charisma is fucking meaningless with a fucking 12. Okay, so
well, you can make an 11 into a 12 and then a 12 into a 14.
okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
right.
turn the 10 and put it in Dex and turn it into 12.
Okay, I see what you're trying to spread it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be just if 11 is what the stat block wants me to be, then that's what I'm gonna fucking be, my dude.
Yeah, all right. Sounds
Okay,
good.
so
well, you do get 1 ability score bonus.
That's why I'm thinking I'm gonna leave some 11s on the sheet. So
gotcha.
I'm gonna give myself the because of that, because I know I'm gonna go up to level 6 with this character, and I get that increase. I'm gonna leave the I'm gonna give the 12 to Charisma.
Make that a 13.
And make that a 13.
Okay.
So then at the boost, I'll get a 14.
Okay. You turn the 10 into a 12. Now you have 4 11s to do with what you will.
So
as a matter of fact, it doesn't matter.
They're all 11. So
you have 11 in everything.
So I'm not particularly bad at anything, though.
I mean, yeah, you are. You're bad at a lot of things.
I'm bad at 4 things.
You're bad at 4 things.
But,
okay.
But I'm going to get expertise. So, like, my skill tree still looks decent.
That's valid. Let's jump ahead real quick to level 4 and just what are you going to do with those ability score bonuses?
I think I'm going to put I could put 2 into I didn't think that far ahead. Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
You could put 1 into charisma.
I'm going to put 1 into charisma and 1 into intelligence.
Okay.
Just as like a role play thing.
I like that. Okay. So final ability scores are 11 in strength, 12 in dexterity, 11 in constitution, 12 in intelligence, 11 in wisdom, and 14 in charisma.
That's not bad.
It could be worse.
It could be
a
worse.
lot worse.
I could have a negative in something.
Yeah, it's true.
And as a bard, like jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Yeah, that's very fitting. Yeah. All right.
Fuck you, D6.
So let's
worked around you.
All right, let's roll your HP. So grab me that D8. Your starting HP is essentially going to be 8. So you start with 8, and you're gonna go ahead and just roll 5 more D8s. They're not gonna add anything to it because your constitution is an 11.
Here's 5 D8s, well, all at once, coming at you fast. Hopefully they're better than the 6s. Oh God.
Well,
that's not bad.
You
that's
got a 7
all over the place.
So that makes that 15. Plus 1 is 16. Plus 2 is 18. Plus 5 is 23.
Yes.
And then plus 4 is 27. You're a level 6 character with 27 HP.
God, this is the only character I've ever rolled that was worse statted than this was my reskinned dinosaur born wizard.
Oh, was he really bad?
Oh, he's fucking awful, man.
Oh,
he's got like worse stats than this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
My AC is so low.
You're-
It's so God. I have to mage armor preemptively to like not die.
That's common for wizards, though.
Yeah, but like it's so bad.
Okay. Well, right 27 in your max HP. You scrawny girl.
Okay. Scrawny little girl.
Okay. So next up, let's you're gonna be in leather armor. Or studded leather is the best you can do. So you might as well just put that on.
Okay.
That will make your AC a whopping 13. No, 14. You have a whopping 14 AC.
That's the same as my mage armored fucking dinosaur born wizard.
Okay, so let's you're proficient in dexterity and charisma for your saving throws.
Okay.
So yay to those. You'll plug in those numbers later. They're not important. Right
Indeed.
now. Choose 3 skills. You can literally choose any 3 skills because you're a bard.
Yeah, it's gonna be persuasion.
Yeah, you need a lot of that.
And then I already kind of get some extra stealth stuff, so I'm not gonna. How about insight? That's a good one for what I'm going for.
Yeah, sure.
And then, because if I'm gonna be lying to people, I'm gonna need to know if they're lying back.
Very true.
And then I guess, now I'm stuck between definitely perception is in the running, investigation is in the running, intimidation is in the running.
I would definitely choose investigation over perception because at least you have a +1 to intelligence.
That's a good way to look at it. But I do think I'm going to go with intimidation.
Okay.
Because just like
that's
to
useful as well.
really fucking go, because it's based in charisma. So with the expertise in that, I really go for it.
There's a saying, if you only have one...
We'll say it into the mic.
There's a saying, if you only have one stat you need to dump, it should be charisma.
But as a bard?
And well, hold on. That's the first half of the saying. The second half of the saying is, if you can only have one good stat, it should probably be charisma.
Okay. Yeah. And that is the case here.
Indeed. Okay, so your proficiency bonus is a +3. So go ahead and write that in, proficiency bonus. Your initiative is a +2. So +2 to initiative, that's not so bad. You're going to get the Jack of all trade features. You're going to get the Song of Rest feature. You're going to get your Psychic Blades feature and your Words of Terror feature from your College of Whispers. You are going to...
Hang on, go back. Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Bardic Rest.
Song of Rest.
Song of Rest. Song of Rest.
Psychic Blades.
Psychic Blades.
Words of Terror.
Words of Terror.
You're going to get the Font of Inspiration. Actually, I don't remember what that is, so I'm going to look it up real quick. Font of Inspiration, where are you? Beginning when you reach 5th level, you regain all your expended use of Bardic Inspirations when you short rest.
And what's that called again?
Font of Inspiration.
Like FONT?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then lastly, you get Counter Charm at level 6. You gain the ability to use musical notes or words of power to disrupt mind-influencing effects. As an action, you can start a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creature within 30 feet of you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
I'm glad I went to level 6 because, damn, it makes sense to be like manipulative and to know how to defend yourself against that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is like an extreme, like magical version of it, but it's the same. Really.
Absolutely. You're gonna get ritual casting, of course.
And that's only for spells that are like marked ritual, right?
Indeed.
And you take 1 hour to do it.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and choose your cantrips. I believe you're going to have 3. Yeah. You know 3 cantrips, and we're going to go to the cantrip list real quick. And then we'll choose some of your like favorite spells. We're not going to go through all the spells because that'd be annoying. And then we're going to take just an overall look of Jade Hudson and see how she came out.
There you go.
All right, Bard. These are your camp choices that are in the player's handbook. I don't have the other books on me, so these are your choices.
Yeah.
Blade Ward, Dancing Lights, Friends, Light, Mage Hand, Mending, Message, Minor Illusion, Prestidigitation, True Strike, and Vicious Mockery.
Vicious Mockery for sure. Definitely. And I get 3, right?
Yeah, you get 3.
Probably Friends was on there. I think that's a good one.
It's not bad, but I think with Friends, they'll know they've been charmed right after it's all over.
Oh, well, I'm going to take Message for sure.
Interesting. Minor Illusion, Mage Hand, and Prestidigitation are all useful. Any of those like call out to you?
Minor Illusion. Oh, Mage Hand is cool. Mage Hand is very, very cool. You know, I might go with Prestidigitation. that prestidige is very powerful off the books.
Indeed.
And by that I mean out of combat.
At level 6, your highest level spell will be 3rd level, so let's pick a couple of those.
I love 3rd level spells. They're very fun.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to let you look at the list.
Okay.
Third level. Pick a couple of those bad
I'm kind of
boys.
going to go by sight.
Yeah.
I pick 2 or 3 or what?
I just picked 2.
I'll probably go with let's see. This is interesting. I know what I'm not fucking picking. What is do you know what non-detection does?
No, I don't.
Okay, I might look at that one. I'm going to go with Dispel Magic
Okay.
as more of like a defensive thing. And then probably Fear. That seems good.
Yeah, that's right up her alley.
Sure.
Yeah, you're kind of like, at this point, you've kind of become like all about avoiding the fight at all costs. Like, manipulate,
All about
subterfuge.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, 12 intelligence is smarter than like most people.
Oh
probably.
yeah. You're above average intelligence. Yeah.
And that's what we're all about. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I don't know what hypnotic pattern does, so I'm just going to go there real quick.
I think that's an illusory thing where like you kind of lock someone in like basically in an illusion.
That sounds like a last stitch kind of thing that this character might have.
Right.
I think E, F, G, H. I know the alphabet. Okay. I'm sorry, podcast. Oh, here it is. Hypnotic pattern. Create twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside of a 30-foot cube within range. The pattern appears for a moment and vanishes. Each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom save. On a failed save, the creature becomes charmed for the duration. While charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated. It has a speed of 0. The spell ends for an effective creature if it takes any damage. Yeah, hypnotic pattern.
Yeah, it sounds like her.
Cool.
Okay, so we definitely got a feel for the types of spells she's going to be casting. I think with those 3 alone, kind of say it all.
Yeah,
Plus the
illusion, like
charming,
defensive, like sneaky, like message to pass something to somebody secretly.
I like that. That's really cool.
Like I'm in a meeting and somebody's on like I don't know the parameters of the spell, but if somebody's nearby and I want to like. Maybe they're on like the other side of a wall, and I can like sneak them words through like a vent or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Seems
no,
cool.
I like that idea. Your skills are all going to be like the thing that makes this character shine.
Yeah,
like, your stats aren't great, and your features are cool, but your spells rely on that DC. But you will have good skills because you are a bard. So we'll fill in those numbers later. We'll go ahead and post this character sheet on Twitter and on Patreon.
I feel like Jade is all about the like manipulation of people and staying out of the fight, definitely.
I like that.
And
it's
like
a cool character
getting
concept.
into positions and passing on information and like making them getting into places of political power. So political intrigue character for sure.
It's also very convenient that you rolled badly on a character that can avoid combat in this way.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. I really like her.
Very role play based character.
I like it a lot.
All right.
I think we're done. I think we've done built a bard.
I done built me a bard.
We done talked about a bard for quite some time, so I think it's ready to call it a game.
Let's call it a game.
All right. The Dungeoncast. Like thoroughly terrible. And the thing is, like, it's not like other movies, like Marvel movies. Like, I legitimately think the Marvel movies are very good. That's not what I'm saying, but there's a certain thing about the Marvel movies where I also don't expect them to be overly, what's the word I'm looking for? Not deep, but like, if something happens in the Marvel universe that like kind of breaks the physics of what's been established, it doesn't bother me because this is a superhero universe, and like that's not the important part of the story. Like superhero stories are like Greek mythologies. You don't like the details don't matter as much. It's the overall character arc and dialogue and stuff like that matter the most. But Star Wars is different. Star Wars, the details have always mattered. Like knowing exactly how bowcasters work and like how like what Wookiee culture is matters. Understanding how hyperdrives work and the setup of the galaxy and like the where bases are and stuff. That part matters. It's a military political drama set in space.
But the politics is what everybody hated about
because there was too much of it.
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was too much.
And they were like,
but there's always
like
been
politics too.
with the Emperor and the Grand Moff Tarkin. It's always been like a military political thing.
That's true.
And the thing is, like,
tyrants and shit.
From what I hear, is like they have literally thrown all that shit to the wind. And like you literally have to shut your brain off completely to enjoy it like it's an action flick. And Star Wars has always had great action, like amazing action, but it's never been an action movie.
What I hated about Revenge of the Sith was like the style of filming that was going on at the time with the shortcuts and like the very close up views. It ruined the fight scene a little bit for me. And like
I agree, it's a little hard to keep track of it.
There's a lot of like flashing like sword twirling, which I think would have looked super cool panned out.
I think you're right.
How come I didn't get to see any of these sick moves somebody obviously choreographed?
Yeah, I know, right? You're right. You're absolutely right.
Or was it actually bad far away and they had to do a close up to kind of like cinch it out?
That's possible.
You know?
That's very possible. My point is, like, because it's Disney that owns it, they're literally giving it the Marvel treatment where like it's constantly quippy and funny like a Marvel movie. Star Wars isn't like that. That's not Star Wars.
It's a drama.
It's a drama. Yeah, it's a silly drama. I'm not going to say it's like some super serious
drama. It's a sci-fi drama.
It's a sci-fi drama. And when you're turning it to all quippy dialogue with humor, you know how like Guardians of the Galaxy, you can't have a serious moment for too long. They're giving that same treatment to Star Wars, which is a horrible idea. Because Star Wars is like full of serious moments that's supposed to make you go, oh shit.
Oh shit, that's his fucking dad.
Exactly.
Oh shit, that was his fucking sister.
Yeah, exactly.
They macked.
Stuff like that. They macked. They totally did. I saw that. And then again, like where like fucking the established physics needs to matter, or why the fuck am I watching this?
Right.
Anyways, I'm done. We're gonna talk about parts now. Okay.